Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Michigan Sports Talk, and in this one we're going to be going over all the big key takeaways from the Michigan versus Maryland game. Michigan beat them 34-27. It was a very close game. Michigan has some work to do, but with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these takeaways. First thing I'm going to mention is Blake Corum. He had an outstanding game, put up Heisman numbers, had 30 carries, 243 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Was an absolute baller in this one. And without Donovan Edwards, he definitely stepped up big offensively. And Blake Corum is for real on this Michigan team. It's going to be a huge threat moving forward against defenses, and he proved it in this game against Maryland. Sometimes putting the offense on his back, because we all know the offense struggled at times in this game against Maryland. Next key takeaway I'm going to talk about is the defense getting more pressure on the quarterback. Michigan had a total of only 3 sacks in this one, but there was just times, especially in the first half, that Michigan was getting no pressure whatsoever on Talia Tagovailoa, and that led to him just staying in the pocket, calm all the time in the world, and being able to throw it downfield to his very talented wide receivers. It really made the secondary work, and hopefully, we can get more pressure on the quarterback in the future. With that being said, Michigan still had 3 turnovers and they got the job done. However, Maryland had 397 total yards, and 269 of those yards were passing yards. So they definitely stepped up a little bit more and played a lot better in the second half, but getting pressure on the quarterback, it has to be better moving forward. Next key takeaway is McCarthy finally started in his first Big Ten matchup, and he faced a real defense, and he definitely had some miscues. He actually fumbled the ball twice in this one. Luckily, both of them were recovered by the offense. But the main concern, and I know wide receivers sometimes weren't getting open, Maryland had a great game plan coming in, and they had a great zone defense in this one, but McCarthy was 1 of 8 on passes 15 or more yards. He really overthrew the ball a lot. The one connection was with Ronnie Bell, which put Michigan in field goal position. So I know JJ, he has a bright future, and he can definitely lead this offense this season to whatever goals they want to achieve. However, he's just got to, work on his deep balls a little bit more and fix it up, and hopefully we can see some more deep ball connections against Iowa next week. He owned up to it in his post-game press conference, which was nice to see, and he knows that he has to fix on a couple things. I'd also rather him throw the ball away at times rather than going 15-20 yards backwards. He did that one time. I know he likes to extend plays, but there comes a time where he just has to be safe with the football, throw it away, and live another down. With that being said, though, he'll be fine, and he has a bright future, and all those things are very easily fixable. Next thing I will say is the offensive line pass protection was, to me, a lot better than in previous games. Maryland did have 2 sacks in this game. However, I thought the offensive line gave a lot of time for JJ to pass the ball at times, and the offensive line was also really good for Blake Corum, opening up gaps for him. So they've definitely improved at least a little bit from their first 3 games, because I tell you what, UConn was getting a little bit too much pressure on the quarterback, so I was happy to see that from the offensive line. Other thing I want to talk about is offensive play calling from Matt Weiss, Sharon Moore, and Jim Harbaugh too. Play calling on offense has to be a little bit better. There were times where, sometimes the play calling seemed like it could have been better, especially on a couple third downs, but for the most part, they did a pretty decent job. They got the job done, and one of the main things was, which is the next key takeaway, the wide receivers were not getting open against Maryland's zone defense. That was another huge issue in this game, and the wide receivers have to get more open, and it's not going to get much easier for them because we face a very, very good Iowa defense next Saturday. Next key takeaway, Michigan finally dealt with adversity. They trailed for the first time, only by 3 points, And then another key thing to me was Michigan never trailed in the second half. So the team, they felt with their first little dose of adversity in this game against Maryland, and when the defense needed to get a stop and get off the field, they did exactly that. And when the offense had to go and score, especially in the fourth quarter, they did just that. So I was very happy to see that. And other than that, Michigan got the W. A win is a win, 34-27, to improve to 4-0 on the season. Now listen, I've seen a lot of Michigan fans worrying right now, saying and wondering if Michigan is a good team this season. Michigan's going to be just fine. I mean, this is usually what happens. You look at last season, Michigan struggled with Rutgers. That was their Big Ten opener in Maryland. This season, same thing. They're going to be just fine, and I'm sure that we will be feeling more confident after the Iowa game next weekend. This was a nice game for Michigan to get things going in Big Ten play, figure out what they need to fix and improve on, and most of it they can fix up really easily, and this Michigan team can definitely be dangerous this season. But with that being said, if you guys are new around here, make sure you guys go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like for more, and let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought of this game, your key takeaways from the game, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. Other than that, hope you guys did enjoy, and hope you all have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.